What really is self-care? When you think about this term, self-care can mean so many different things to different people. For some people, getting a massage or going to the movies after a long, stressful week, that's self-care. But for others, being alone or having some me time, that gives them this feeling or sense of self-care. But let's dive even deeper into this. What if you're currently going through the recovery process and you're trying to find different ways to improve your own life? What does self-care look like there? Or on the other end of the spectrum, you are completely sober and you're living a sober lifestyle. What does self-care look like at that point? Being that there are so many different ways to understand this term, in this video, I'm going to simplify what self-care is, explain and break down what self-care is not, and I'll be sharing 5 different tips to help you improve healthily caring for yourself. My name is Immanuel with Sandstone Care, and here we provide mental health, substance abuse, and addiction treatment for young adults and teens. But more about that at the end. Let's get into it. What is self-care? According to its definition, self-care is the practice of taking action to preserve or improve one's own health. Preserve or improve. Now, just so you know, after I read that definition, I started to understand self-care slightly differently. So instead of me seeing self-care as just actions like getting a massage or washing the dishes, cleaning up the house, journaling, expressing yourself, with so many different ways, I now find it helpful to think about self-care like this after reading its definition. Is this next action or activity I'm about to do preserving or improving my own health? If the answer is no, then that means that my overall self-care is not getting better. If the answer is yes, then that's awesome because that means that my self-care is improving, which improves my overall health as well. So be patient and take the time that you need to find the activities that work best for you in terms of taking care of yourself. Now, we're going to go into what self-care isn't. There's one big thing that self-care is not. Self-care is not selfish. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. There may be times in your life when you start to take care of yourself and other people around you won't like it. They'll find you as being selfish. Or on the other hand, you could be in a situation right now where you're taking care of yourself, but you're feeling this shame and you're feeling this guilt for putting yourself first. Please know that there's a huge difference between being selfish and practicing self-care. Being there for yourself and learning how to love yourself is one of the most challenging things, yet rewarding things you will ever have to do. Having that compassion and patience and love for yourself is the cornerstone of being able to stand on your own 2 feet during difficult times and situations. And if you are currently in the recovery process, it's the cornerstone of staying sober. So self-care is not selfish. If anything, it should be placed as a priority for your mental and physical well-being. Moving on, as I guaranteed at the beginning of this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some tips and different ways that you can work on caring for yourself. Tip number 1, become more mindful. Now, being mindful can mean a lot of different things in different circumstances, but in terms of self-care and recovery, I'm more specifically talking about being more self-aware of your physical and mental sensations. So a lot of the times, if we're not taking care of ourselves, or if we're using substances and different things to cope that we know aren't really helpful for us, we may be avoiding feelings and thoughts that we're experiencing on the inside. But by working on being mindful, this will allow us to sit with our feelings and even study our feelings and understand them from a different perspective. Doing this allows you to explore and possibly find answers to help better improve your overall health. Tip number 2, connect with people that share similar goals and values. This is especially important if you're in recovery. Addiction, depression, anxiety, and even other mental conditions all thrive when you are in complete solitude. So something that is helpful to get through these moments where even the possibility of the temptation to relapse is there is to find people and find groups where they are excited to be there for you and they're excited to build you up and help you during this recovery process. Some of the groups I'm about to mention you may have heard of before, but going to 12-step based meetings like Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous is a great way to connect with people. And if the 12-step meeting program is not really your vibe or kind of thing, There are also sobriety-based community meetings like Refuge Recovery and Smart Recovery. These meetings don't even have to be in person, they're also online. So all I'm trying to just say is that there are people out there that want to support you and want to be there for you during your time of recovery, or during the time when you know that your self-care could use that little extra support. The third tip, find a healthy balance in your life. Now, I'm going to say this from the jump. I'm definitely a person that has to continuously work on this myself, but I believe that in society, we tend to put a lot of value in hard work. We tend to equate busyness with how good, productive, and valuable we are. This can actually lead to a more dangerous and destructive mindset, because if you're now starting to work on and begin your self-care journey, and you start to place all this importance into this one specific activity, you'll quickly find yourself becoming overwhelmed. With this pressure of feeling like if this one activity doesn't work out, that actually could lead to a relapse or doing harmful behavior that's damaging to your health. So find that healthy balance between work, school, and your social life, and activities like the 12-step meetings I mentioned earlier. Doing this may sound difficult, but give yourself time, be patient. Balancing all of these things may sound tricky, but it is possible. And these different activities, by the way, are very fulfilling. So the more balanced you become, the more fulfilled you start to become with these activities as well. The last tip I have for you, tip number 4, is set healthy boundaries. Listen, this is your life. And if you are beginning to make that decision of wanting to start to better take care of yourself, or even the decision of wanting to live a sober lifestyle, there are most likely people in your life that aren't going to like that decision. They might be people that are currently taking drugs or drinking alcohol themselves. They might even be people that are encouraging you not to live this sober lifestyle, which overall leads to you not improving your self-care. Remember, self-care is about protecting yourself. And if you are on that journey, it's about protecting your sobriety as well. Being open about the fact that you are living this sober lifestyle and you're starting to want to put yourself first, so that way you know that you're mentally and physically okay, that is awesome. It lets people know around you that you're not going to be drinking and using drugs around them anymore. More importantly, it lets them know that you're putting your health first as a priority in your life. I hope that this video inspires you to really start taking care of yourself and putting yourself and your health as the #1 priority in your life. But if after watching this video, you still feel like, hey, I've been doing this self-care journey stuff and I've been taking care of myself, but I can still use that additional support, no worries at all. That is why Sandstone Care is here to help. At Sandstone Care, we offer treatment programs, sober living, and other mental health resources if you are struggling with recovery, or if you're struggling with finding like-minded people that are passionate about fully making it through the recovery process. So to get into contact with a Sandstone Care member right now, who, by the way, is a real person that will want to get to know you and your situation and send you these mental health resources, you can live chat them right now at sandstonecare.com or call the number below. All right, if you have any questions that you would like Sandstone Care to answer, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below and we will answer them as soon as we can. Here's to you and your health being #1. Have a good one.